What if the British Empire had won the Revolutionary War? Alternative history. Yesterday is history, some of which is a myth. Tomorrow is a mystery, and that's a fact. Disclaimer. If I understand correctly, a disclaimer is more or less a denial of something, often including responsibility or perhaps a renunciation of blame. Let's put it this way. If you're looking for a book dealing primarily with just one subject, you've come to the wrong place. If you're a mystery buff, this does contain some mysteries, but I don't think we've actually solved any of them. Once, while speaking of Russia, Winston Churchill said something that would have been applicable for many topics, including ours. It's a riddle wrapped in a mystery, inside an enigma, and that might have proven a strain on any investigative prowess, so we gave it up. If you encounter anything ambiguous, no harm was meant, because after all, a lot of subjects have multiple meaning, so we were well within our rights to be that way. A thesaurus might even include equivocation as a synonym, but that doesn't fit, because we weren't fibbing about anything, or at least didn't mean to if we did. That's because, as much as possible, the author is always upright, outright, forthright, and downright. This may not make us one of a kind, but it's the best we can do. At least you should find most of the words spelled correctly, because at times we even outdo spell check. It's just common sense to realize that if you do misspell a word, it's probably because you didn't know how to spell it in the first place. If this mini-scholarly dissertation didn't exasperate you, read on. We'll meet up later if this tome ever ends. You're perhaps thinking we were never going to start this book, but you were mistaken, because here we go, finally. Chapter 1. It was a virtual synonym for strife. That chapter title is a simple overall description of a far from simple, bitter disagreement over fundamental issues that resulted in a preordained conflict a bit more than 20 years prior to the beginning of the Revolutionary War, or War of Independence, take your choice. Whichever name you choose, it's still referring to events destined to happen concerning an entire continent. This one happens to be called the French and Indian War, a name that doesn't fully denote matters that suddenly became more awkward, embarrassing, and troublesome. It isn't easy to pinpoint a specific date, so we'll just say it was in the summertime of 1754, and the onset was in a wilderness area that happened to be in the western part of the colony.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?